Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel with a new video about Disgaea. Today what we are going to do is simply the story of the episode 2. The idea in the chapter 2 is that you will face some enemies always vulnerable to ice, and having some fire spells will help you if you have some troubles doing just by brute force. In this first battle, most enemies will be very far away, so you can just use the throw option in order to get closer to the action and directly hurt them. Some of the enemies are actually in a higher ground, and for now just ignore them. Focus on everyone at the bottom of the map and be as aggressive as possible in order to take them down fast. Since I am trying to level up all my characters, including my weak characters, I'm just trying to finish them with the character I want and not to use too much Lahar. Anyway, here as you can see, my red mage just used a fire spell and dealt a lot of damage and one-shot this zombie. So if you have some troubles during this episode, just send the master of your red mage on the next panel and try to make him learn fire spells. If you have followed the same progression as mine, it should be your cleric. Therefore, your cleric could have some powerful fire spells and defend himself or herself really efficiently. As you can see, they are targeting Lahar. He is almost the only one they can target. Lahar and Etla are actually on the right of this battlefield just to absorb all the damage. In this battle, they are the mid shield. This way, my other characters do not take much damage. They will be able to survive and to kill some opponents and get some experience. If this strategy is not good enough for you, in this case you should rush the left part of the battlefield where the first zombie was, and then lure the enemies at the bottom right below the archers towards you by analyzing their movement range. This way you will be far away from those two archers at the top of the hill, and you will be able to deal with those enemies with ease. I have nothing more to comment about this battle, so I'll just go on without commentaries. Again, this second battle also features some enemies that are vulnerable to fire. So that is the key to victory if you have several mages or one mage plus his master that have learned fire spells from him. Also the Blazing Knuckle ability that Lahal can have if he is high enough level can be very important. It hits all squares around Lahal for fire damage, so that's just brutal in this configuration. If like me you don't want to use too much Lahal, then just focus on groups one by one. Here I'm just starting with those 3 zombies and I want to deal as much damage as I can to those 3 before moving on to the next group. Anyway, this battle again is not really hard, so I'm just going to let you watch it without commentaries.
Finish this. Tip. Finish this. Safe.
Third battle is very similar to the first two. What changes is the configuration of opponents. As you can see, they are aligned and that's very vulnerable to the Blade Rush ability. So like the previous battle, just use the same strategies, however just change your abilities according to the configuration of opponents. And obviously, area of effect fire spells will do just wonder here. About the flying enemies that are in the back of this battlefield, you have a few of them. They can be dangerous because they have an area of effect attack that can deal as well some status conditions such as poison, and they hit for 3 squares, one just in front of them, one into the diagonal in front left and the diagonal front right. So if you align 3 characters, those flying enemies called Alps will just deal a lot of damage to them in just one turn. So be careful with that when you are getting closer to those enemies. Make sure that your characters are separated. Again, I'm just going to continue with this battle without any commentaries.
Drop dead. Punk. Eat this. See ya.
Now, White Death will be the last battle of this episode, so before going there, I'll just remind you that you should go to Etna's chamber in the previous room in order to read her diary.
Prince, I'm going to the
So I have healed my characters, read the diary, and now I'm just going to hit the save button just because we are going to face a boss. Nothing too difficult, but just in case, make sure that you will not lose progress in case of defeat. Now this battle can be tricky, because the boss, which is actually the dragon, can deal a lot of damage to single targets, and all the Alps, the flying enemies, they have this area of effect that deals in addition poison. Therefore, if you face them all at once, at least make sure that your characters are not close together. The other option is just to bring one or two characters very close to your base panel in order to attract Alps first, and when they are dead, you'll be able to deal with ease with the dragon, because the dragon is powerful, it has a lot of life, very good attack value as well, but it's just one enemy. So with 10 characters, it should be a breeze. Don't forget to bring your mages as well, they are the key in this chapter. I have just one, my red mage with the fire spell, and it's the most useful. And if like me you don't want to have useless characters such as extra mages, just teach your fire spell to your other characters such as your cleric, and that will be extremely useful. Of course, if you have high level characters such as mine, you can just go there and use brute force directly. In this case, kill all the flying enemies first in order to limit the damage you will receive in the next turn. Plum, the angel, is not really a threat, so just deal with her last. For the dragon, the last tip I want to give you is chain multiple actions at once. Don't do just one action and then execute and then repeat the process, but try to input as many actions as you can and then hit the execute button. For every single attack after the first one, you will gain a bonus to damage, and that can be useful since the dragon has a lot of life. So now I am just deploying a few characters in some location just to make sure that those flying enemies will not be able to use their area of effect attack in more than 2 characters at once. So now you have all the information I wanted to give you. So let me end this video without commentaries.
finish this.
Who the man?
And now the episode 2 is completed. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.